for the discernment to discern what's taking place in your bloodline. Because until you can identify it, you can't break it. You can't deal with it because you're ignorant to the fact of what it is. What is it? Is it abortions? Is it divorce? What is it? Is it miscarriages? What is it? Is it a barren womb? Is it an addiction? Whether it's a sex addiction, whether it's a food addiction, okay? Whether it's a substance addiction. What's working in your life? Whether it's sexual immorality, whether it's homosexuality, whatever, what is working in your bloodline? What is working against you? Poverty, lack, hate, unforgiveness, an unruly spirit. What is working against you? What strongholds have been mounted up and bind you up in the spirit? Because in order for you to wage war in the natural, guess what? Your spirit man will be equipped in the spirit. Because what shows up in the natural has taken place in the spirit. So if you're defeated in your finances, if you're defeated in your wealth, your finances, if you're defeated in your body, your health, okay? If you're defeated in your relationships, if you're defeated spiritually in the word of God, it shows up. Why? Because I'm not feeding my spirit man. I'm not equipping my spirit man. I'm not preparing my spirit man. I'm not teaching him how to war in the spirit. I'm not spending time in my word, but the word of God builds you up. I'm not exercising my faith. I'm not walking in my purpose. I'm not exercising my gifts. What areas in your life has the enemy held you hostage in? Has he enslaved you in your mentality, your mindset? How do you see yourself? Because the children of Israel saw themselves as grasshoppers, as menial. He said, we see ourselves as grasshoppers, and so do they. How do you know what they think about you? Because the Bible says nobody knows the spirit of a man, the intent of a man, the heart of the man, except for the spirit that's in man. So stop looking at other people. Stop portraying your thoughts, okay, concerning other people upon you. Because the children of Israel, God said, you are well able. Joshua said, you are well able to go and conquer, to go and take the land, because God already promised in the land. He said, go into the land, and he said, occupy. He's telling you in 2025 to go into that land, that territory that he's called you into to occupy. But I got to tear down the strongholds in my mind. I got to start worrying about how other people see me, their perspective of me. It ain't about me, it's about you. How do you see you? Because if we're not victorious here, we can't be victorious in the natural. We can't overcome the enemy in the natural, but we're already defeated in our minds. We're already defeated in our minds. What's your mind telling you right now? If I was to tell you to get up, God got $1 million waiting on you. You're going to try to figure out in your mind how, where, how I get there, what I got to do. But the problem is when God gives you instructions, you fail to obey the instruction. There are some of you that God literally want to set free. That you're one step, one choice of being set free. He wants to liberate you. He's declared freedom over your life already. He's already set an expiration date to the work of the enemy against your life. Remember, the enemy can only do what God allows him to do. As we take a look at Job, what did God tell Job? The Bible says, as the sons of men, the sons of God, went before God, also the enemy showed up. And he asked the enemy, where did you come from? He said, I come from going to and fro the earth and up and down in it. Why? He's seeking for something. The enemy seeks for you because he knows you're weak. He knows your spirit man is weak. So he seeks for you because you're weak. He thinks you're invalid. You're unvaluable. You're invaluable. He don't see you as being strong and mighty. Why? Because he studied you. He know your weaknesses. He know your frailty. He know your mistakes. He know your shortcomings. He know your guilt. He know the grief. He know your addictions. He know what entices you. But God says to the enemy, to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? And the enemy told God, he said, you blessed him with so much. He would not dare. He would not dare, because you got a head of protection around him. So God said to him, I tell you what, I give you permission to touch Job's stuff, but you can't touch Job. You can't touch Job's soul. That's what God said. But why did God say that? Because he knew who Job was. He knew what Job occupied. He knew what was on the inside of Job. He knew who he had called Job to be and who he had created Job to be. Job was walking in the fullness of who God called him to be, because God called him upright, blameless, and one who shunned evil. So he had a relationship with God. Can God find you faithful? Can God tell the enemy, have you tried my servant Shanae? Have you tried my servant Paul? Have you tried my servant Rebecca? Have you tried my servant Latoya? Can he also say something about you that he said about Job? Have you considered my servant Job? Why? Because God knew who Job was. Does God know you? Does God know you have been equipped? Do he know that you're strong and you're mighty enough to contend with your enemy? Does he know that if you go through some things, you won't curse him? So guess what? The enemy robbed Job of his cattle, of his livestock, of his children, the things that were dear and valuable unto him. But even in the enemy robbing and stripping Job of those things, Job never cursed God. Job began to give God the glory. And guess what? He went back. The enemy came before God again. And God asked him a question again. Have you considered my servant Job? And he says, yeah, I touched Job. He said, but you got a hedge around Job. You're protecting Job. So that's what he said. He said, I give you permission again to touch Job, to touch his body. Okay. So now the enemy put boils all upon Job. Now Job has been afflicted in his body. He's enduring sorrow in his body, hardship in his body. And yet again, Job did not curse God. But what did the wife say to Job? She said, why don't you just curse God and die? And Job said, can we not accept the good from God and not the bad? Why? Because Job knew God. Job knew God was faithful. And Job also said, God giveth and God taketh away. You got to remember, God giveth and God taketh away. But he allows your enemy access to your life for only a season. And he give the enemy instruction. It was only certain things that the enemy could do to Job. It's the same thing about your life. Yeah, you might be touched in your finances. You might be touched in your body right now. You might be touched in your marriage right now, in your relationships right now. You might be touched in your mind right now, your mental capacity right now. But it's only so much the enemy can do to come against you. Because God has already set a mandate on your life that you shall go forth. That when you come out, the Bible said, Paul said, after you have suffered for a little while, the God of all grace shall establish you. He shall strengthen you. Okay, he's calling you to some places. You got to go through some things, but these strongholds in your life, they contending with you. They're destroying you. The enemy has come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. His ultimate goal is to destroy you, but he starts subtly. He starts just by stealing some things from you. Then he begins to kill the thing on the inside of your purpose, your identity, your truth,